Okay, I want to talk about support structures. So basically, when you're a entrepreneur, think about starting a small company, inventor, a creative person, um, any kind of endeavor where you have an idea, a vision, a concept that is different to how everything is going on at the moment. Uh, you need a particularly good support structure. Well, it's helpful to have a good support structure to help you through that process because it's difficult to change people's minds. It's difficult to sell a new product. It's difficult to sell a new idea. Everyone thinks that you get an idea or you are like, people gonna just drive other people around. It's gonna be like that. It's gonna be amazing. Like, doesn't matter how good your idea is, there will always be resistance. You always feel like you're pushing yourself up against a wall, and it's important. It's helpful to have a really good support structure around because that will tire you out emotionally, physically. It'll be super tough. Um, because you're going to give and you're going to give and give and give because you're doing something you believe in. You're not working for someone else. You're doing whatever you could. You're trying to figure out the way in the world, the pathway, the alignment where you can get to where you want to be. So your idea, your concept, the change you want to make in the world can actually happen with people. So it's super difficult. So your support structure is really important. And apart from me just saying it's important, maybe I should try and give more details about it. But recently I've had to almost school my father. Most millennials school their parents anyway, but in how to be supportive in a constructive way. So you could say, oh, I want to. The idea is this: the invention, the app, the song, the metaphor, the story is this. This is what I want to sell to people, to give to people. And people that are supporting you, they can be like, okay. So the unsupportive or the not very helpful support, not very support is it? It's negativity is where they say, oh well, who are you? Where are you coming from? What chances do you have in this field? So one of my ideas is a field where literally have almost no background in. It's not this one. It's not the one for the blog. It's a different one. It's a new political idea. Literally, I am nothing. I'm a person. I'm a citizen. That's all I am. Yet I have an idea to change the way that our democracy is set up. It's a political idea. So regardless, it's ridiculous, right? So someone that can give you unhelpful support will be like, oh, who are you? Oh, you're not a professor, a philosopher. Oh, you don't have any history. You haven't written any books on this before. Oh, you've been into it for your whole life, thinking about it, kind of, but it hasn't really you haven't worked in the area. Okay, you shouldn't even get involved. Don't even jump in. That's unhelpful because you can't do anything about that. You shut down. It doesn't. There's nowhere to go. It's like a someone asks a question. It's like a yes no question. You're shut down. You say no. Boom. That's it. You're not going further. And now the other side, which I was trying to explain to my father, was that it's fine to be skeptical and critical, and not so and it cannot see the world with this idea because it's in our head, it's in the inventor's head, it's not in the other people's heads, so they can't see it. But to not shut down, but to be more like, okay, have you talked to people in the industry about it? Have you tried to test it on people? Is there a market for it? How much can you get experience in it? Could you find out a way to stress test, dip your feet in the water of this idea to see how it goes and do it with minimal risk? So not be like, okay, do you really want to spend 2 years of your life and $50,000 to develop this idea, which I think is shit. Rather be like, okay, how much can you do it to know whether it's going to work or not, and without losing as much as possible. So you want to be able to be able to like get a person. So if you give the support, you want to be able to discern how you're able to better stress test these ideas. Because in the beginning, ideas, they're all crazy, right? They're all like, oh, what if we, I don't know, yeah, okay, could think of anything. Well, I could, they were all inappropriate. So, yeah, so regardless, how do we do these things, right? These ideas are always crappy and super weird in the beginning. It's just how they are. So the idea is to really help the person get to a point where they're able to discern whether it's a good one or a bad one. I've had hundreds of ideas. I've had thousands of ideas, like ideas and ideas and ideas. And I tell people, and some people are good with it. They're like, you should do. And then I find out either it's been invented or it's not possible, it's not feasible, or it requires everyone getting on board, and I'm not able to do that at the moment. Or other people just shut it down and just say, well, you should know your position almost, and this is not a position for you to take, right? So let's just get a little thing on the sort of how to support. Some of the videos, how to support someone, and also how to help other people support you. Because, I mean, if you're watching these videos, you'll be the one, you'll be the driver, right? So you need to be like, okay, you need to like tell me, you need to give me some creative feedback, some support that I can use. So I can use something out of it. Now, sometimes there's a certain amount, there's a spectrum, right? A certain amount where a bit of negative feedback is good, because I'm almost like, well, am I allowed to swear? I don't know. But like fuck it, I'm going to do it just to show you up. And when I've got all the riches and my private yacht sailing the Mediterranean, I will not think of you. But I don't want to do that. I don't want to have a business or run a company, do an invention to spite someone else or to do it for someone else. I want to do it for me. So I was talking to another friend of mine. He's a creative musician, and he was like, in the beginning, keep your ideas to yourself. Like, he called it being introverted with it, which I don't think it's to do with introversion, but it's more like on the beginning stages, keep the ideas to yourself, which I am doing with the idea for this show, this vlog, the pattern idea, because I can't really tell so many people about it, because I can't tell them much because it's a pattern, right? I can't let it come out before I patent it. But the democracy idea, the political idea, I'm trying to tell people as many as I can. So I'd like to hear if people get the message quickly and if they like it, and what are the issues where they could see it might be problematic. So that one, I need people's feedback, and I want to make it sharper. It's like an academic paper. I want to tell people, present it, get people's ideas, get people's feedback, questions, and make it sharper, 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 sharper. And that's one way to get a really good idea. And the other way is to sit at home in a dark room and work on it and think about it, and you think about it with yourself. But the problem with that is, you go down the rabbit hole pretty far, and you could lose sight of things. But there are some ideas, like inventions, you have to go down the rabbit hole for them to really work at them. Unfortunately, you can't just own them when you think of the idea. And then the other way is you need to present it, you need to bring it out, and you need to constantly get it refined. So they're the two ways of how to propagate this sort of creation process. And then support is extremely useful when you're just going up and you're getting rejections and rejections and rejections, and nothing seems to be working, and you don't even believe your idea is particularly new or novel. Super tough. So you need to cultivate that network, that people around you that are just like, go give them hell. Like, they're gonna know your name. Like, don't email them, they should be emailing you. They're the people that you want. And to be honest, to be that person, to the other person, doesn't require much. I mean, instead of them saying, a friend said to me recently, you're going into an industry which is highly competitive, technical in nature, you have no experience with the technical side, right? And these are companies with millions of euros, millions of dollars, have huge marketing, have huge ambassadors, have been around for 50 years. And you want to go in and you think you're going to beat them. That sounds like bullshit to me. And of course you can't really do much with that because it's like, yeah, okay, it's your opinion on thing. I don't have an opinion of my own. But oh, fuck, I forgot what I was going to say with that. Yeah, but it doesn't really like if they just said instead, if that person said, "Oh, you know what, go for it. Spend your money, spend your time, work all the time. Do it, see what happens. Life is about learning. Super cool." Um, yeah, like for them, it doesn't change anything, and I'm not sure why some people like or neg it out, and some people like, yeah, fucking give me hell, man. I think it's to do with some people that neg out. It's because maybe I don't think it's a jealousy thing. I think it's where they see that they will never be able to do this leap of faith because it's difficult, right? Even though the guy that said to me was a small business owner himself, but they wouldn't be able to make this leap of faith. So it's super, it's like you're challenging their way of life. You're saying, well, maybe it is possible to go out on your own and do this kind of stuff. So I can see why maybe subconsciously they're like, by that person, yeah, by Carlo quitting his safe 9 to 5 job and by no means myself, but becoming an entrepreneur or whatnot, he's challenging my way of life because I like the 9 to 5 and I like the safety. And that's the thing, I'm not challenging that. I'm just saying this is an idea of the world that I can see. I want to change it. It could be possible. There's a possibility, there's a realization here. So I think that's where it comes from, and it doesn't cost them anything. So if either you can either help partners or people around you to help them get to a point where they can be like, well, I need you to support me through this time. It's gonna be tough for a whole year. I'm going to be getting it from all sides of me, and I'm going to be really challenging who I am. But I need you to be supported. I need you to support me in these ways, and I need that from you. And even though you don't believe in the idea, and even though you think I'm wasting my time, and you think I'm wasting my money, it's my time, my money, so fuck you. And I need the support from you. So please be there to support me, or we just agree that we just agree that we don't talk about it. So now with the friends, I just don't even talk about it now because they're just like, oh, fuck them. It gets to you, it really fucking gets to you. Like fucking just try and be positive and say yes. It doesn't cost you anything to say, Carlo, do it, go for it. But fucking let him neg him out. Let him live in a negative world. Anyway, that's enough for me. It's always like psychological, like, getting all this like emotional release out. But yeah, something I have to do. Cool. Okay, that was it on support. Most emotional, not financial. We'll cover financial later on.